Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tech Tuesday. My name is Ben.
I'm Tim.
And we're back for another episode of Tech Tuesday. This one is not live. It's a recorded episode, but Tim hit me with the last week. We may be doing more lives.
Oh, yeah.
And by maybe, I mean we will be doing more lives. So,
yep. It's optional, mandatory.
Yeah, optional, man. That's a good one. No, but you guys love them. So we'll try to make it more accommodating when we do lives. We've talked about when we could be recording them, maybe later in the evening to have more of you guys on and stuff like that. There's some cool stuff with possibly bringing on some guests for the show and things like that. And
got to talk to some people about that. We'll see what happens.
So, but yeah, we'll jump right back into the questions. But before we do, Timothy, do you have any thoughts, questions, quibbles, or even fashion statement tips?
Fashion statement tip today.
Yeah.
So if you're working on a 1989 or 90, I don't know what year, Chevy S10 with a 4.3 in it, and you put an intake on, and throttle body, and a PDM, and a wiring harness, and a distributor, and all that stuff, don't forget to put your oil sensor in. Otherwise, when you go to start that thing, you get to test how much oil pressure you have and how much coverage that pressure will give you under the hood. I call it the rapid oil change, but don't do that. You'll go through a whole lot of kitty litter getting that dried up off the floor.
You sound like this is something you've experienced.
It's hilarious. It was hilarious.
On a first-hand basis?
Well, I got everybody there. Bradley was there. Lucky Chucky was there. Clint was there. I was there. Jesus was there.
Yeah.
They all saw it.
Yeah.
We all had a laugh.
Yeah. Okay. Love that. Okay. Very good. We'll jump right into the questions for you guys, starting with numero uno. I'll let Timothy go. I usually start it. You go. You start the questions today.
Let's see.
This is on our live comments.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to some of our other videos, but we're going to start with the comments from our live.
The first 4 questions is basically thank you, and thank you guys.
Yes.
For adding the comments and whatnot. Oh, neat. Let's see. Matt Noel 580. Long-time watcher, first-time asker. I'm installing a jackpot kit on my 4th-gen Camaro. My question is, can I install the connector on the ground wire that goes to the cylinder head in the coil harness? Cylinder head. It's direct path to ground. It's way better. Better spark. Better stuff. Less noise. My reason is I like to be able to slide my intake forward a touch and disconnect the injector. And since the connector wants to be able to remove all the wiring with the intake all at one go. I understand that, but you still want to have that ground wire for to the back of the head. It's just a path to ground faster because you think the high tension side is going to go through the spark plug and the outer side grounds to the head. And you want to have that ground path really, really nice.
Sweet.
For the coils, at least.
Touche. Also, just thank you guys so much for your support on Tech Tuesday. We're getting a lot of thank yous and
you can put a single pin weather pack on that. If you want a connector that's not bolted down, just put weather packs on that. You'll be all right. Protected from environment and all that. Not a big deal.
Sweet.
Especially on a 4th gen, you can't really get back there very well. Next. 71 Chevelle 32. Hey guys, enjoy your Tech Tuesdays. Over the winter, I've installed the Killshot on my 71 Chevelle, pretty much stock 355 SBC with a small cam. The install went somewhat smoothly, except for the inline fuel system regarding which filter went where. I figured it out before the video came out. The 8AN PTFE fittings were a pain because of the ferrules. Am I reading that right? Didn't fit very well to the line, very tight. Other than that, everything went together well. I have a question regarding the temperature sensor. I had to install it in the passenger side head because that's the only spot that worked. It's about 3/4 inch to an inch from the number 4 primary tube. Should
I be worried about the heat possibly destroying the sensor? A friend who is a mechanic said it would be too close and suggested getting 45-degree fittings for the sensor, which I think would be a problem because the sensor wouldn't be in the direct flow of the coolant. What are your thoughts?
I ran around the passenger side of the head before, depending on how gnarled up your headers are. It's not really a big deal. If you're super worried, you can actually just make a little heat shield and put around it. That'll help out a lot. Something light gauge metal that disperses the heat nicely. That's just for the plastic bits, so that destroy it. It's not going to throw off your sensor reading value any.
Sweet.
But yeah, just you can put a barrier in there, make a little shield, just clips on to the sensor itself. Will do a good job. Some of the old school Chevy stuff, they had a lot of those clip-on shields for different stuff, like if you ever seen them on a starter, because they're so close to the back of the header, and various things like that. But that's it. That's what I suggest. And don't put it in a pipe or anything weird like that, because you're right. It's not going to be in the direct coolant flow. It's just going to be hot-ish, but not accurate.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. After you, sir.
Jim Corman, 5842. I just got the Killshot 7-inch handheld into car chains. Nice. Car Chains 3D. They make great 3D components that hold our handhelds. Good dude. Corey's a good dude. Printed Fox body coupe dash. My question is, can I use USB-C attached to the port on top and go to a pass-through that Car Chain sells for Fox body to be able to update the system? I'll be using Hot Rod Power Tour. My first hope to see you guys there. Thank you, Jim, Ohio. So we got a couple builds in the shop outside of Aces, but there is a few builds in a place where I hang out, and we did that exact thing. We used a 90-degree USB-C patch cable and then ran it to the dash and then placarded it as such, and it seems to update just fine. I haven't had any weird issues with data loss or anything, but it's only... The cord's only maybe a meter long, maybe not even quite, but it goes from the dash into the center console with the rest of the button switches and nitrous things.
Sweet.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
That way, it's like kind of like it's in forever, and it's because you're trying to pull one of those things out, especially on Fox body and like S10s as well. It's a fickle beast to deal with. But yeah, once you get it in, you don't want to pull it back out to do an update. And if it runs and drives good, don't do an update. Unless there's some new feature we come out with that you really, really got to have. But some people are so religious about there'll be a new update come out and they already have the car tuned and running good, and they'll put the new update in that changes nothing for their particular system. And they'll kind of run into a bit of a headache not putting the files on the USB drive correct, or using the wrong type of USB drive, or what have you not.
Seen it.
Probably
see it weekly. Daily, maybe.
Weekly. I've seen a whole host of those on the Facebook here recently of people corrupting their handhelds because they got the files on incorrect, and it's really hard to go in there and type in the instructions. But we did make a couple videos. We're actually getting ready to make a bunch more updated videos on because we got that new handheld, and we need to show people how to update that appropriately. It's actually way easier because you don't even got to extract the file. You just got to drop a zip file on there. But we're going to update that video here soon. It's time. Got a kind of a yearly thing on updating those because it seems to always change every year-ish. Some new crazy thing.
It is what it is. But as far as Hot Rod Power Tour is concerned, we are planning on going to that. Whether us and somebody else, there's some influencers of ours that are going to be there as well. I've had a few conversations with, so it should be fun. Should be a party. Kind of. So,
am I going on that one? I might not be able to.
I think
I can send somebody.
I think Bradley was the one that was mentioned to go, and then me.
We got to make sure.
We'll see.
We got to make sure just to see, because that's going to be also depending on what influencer may want to tag along with us.
I know
too.
It's open.
We all know different people.
Correct. Yeah. Great question. Next one is from Josh with 2 H's, 6470. Any way to fix the fan ground triggers on the Killshot? Worked first drive, then quit. Relays work when triggered manually, but no signal from fan 1 and 2 wires.
It should be a ground signal. Make sure to verify it's a ground trigger signal out of that.
Worst case is you have us do an RMA, have us check it out, see if there's something wrong with the ground circuit on that. But yeah, I'd verify that you are using as a ground trigger relay setup, and that whenever triggered that they go to ground, just get a multimeter out, make sure it goes to ground. Don't use a power probe. There's so many people that are confident in their power probe skills and incidentally hit the wrong button and send power down a ground path, and then the magic smoke comes out. And it's the bad thing is when you know that, it's like super hard to, like, I know what happened here.
Yeah.
Warranty situation.
Yeah. Also, possibly a weekly experience. Maybe not with that one, but
no,
knowing.
I've seen a lot of people use power probes and smoke an ECU fast. Yeah. Not even just on ACES stuff. I've watched somebody with a very expensive unit test something true. And just they were testing it the wrong direction, and it just did a thing.
Yep.
Let's see. Don Dalton, 24, call me crazy, but dual 2-barrel on a Buick Straight 8, can it be done? We don't have one that directly applies to it. If it was real tricky, you could figure out how to use the RPM output as an RPM input, and then you'll be running dual systems, which entice to cost, and one will lag behind the other because there will be a latency thing. As close as you can do with a dual 2-barrel setup. But yeah, on a Straight 8, that's kind of neat.
Do you think we'd ever do a dual?
Don't know. There's not a huge calling for that. I mean, it's a whole thing. You can do some real custom stuff with that, but it would be, you'd have to blend together like a Killshot and a couple of Deuces Wilds and do all kinds of crazy splitting. It would be very, very much an experimental process.
I have seen people do the 3, like 6, so 3 2-barrel setups.
Tri-power stuff.
Yeah. Would that ever be something we look into?
No, there's hardly...
Same thing?
It's a very small market, but the research into putting that out there would be...
I'm just asking. Insane. I just figured they might ask, so I thought I'd ask.
There's only a handful of tri-power guys out there. Yeah. You got a center carburetor, and then you got 2 primaries outside of that, and they have to be adjusted and synced just right.
Oh, wow.
It does have more drivability than the dual quad setup, but it's still like... there's only a few things that took a tri-power.
Yeah. Very custom.
Tri-power, you want to go carbureted anyways, man. You want to stay carbureted on a tri-power. That's way more fun. Setting that up, man, adjusting it, getting it right, and the noise it makes.
Yeah. So we'll go. Next question is Jesse Jackson 386. He says, I have a 91K 1500 with a 5-speed and a 350 with an HEI set at 12 degrees at idle and at 32 at 3K RPM. I'm having a problem with my Killshot going dangerously lean on deceleration. My AFR will go up to 50 at times, and if I press the clutch in, it just dies. What can I do to correct this? About to pull my Killshot off in fears of hurting my engine.
The cool thing is going lean on deceleration. Factory cars do that too. It's called deceleration fuel cutoff. There's an option in the handheld for actually turning that on and off. If you turn it off, it doesn't pull fuel, but you'll get a couple little pops and bangs at the pipe if you don't have the timing just right whenever you're decelerating. But not the biggest thing, and that's if you got too much fuel too. So I turn that off so you don't have that lean decel if you're worried about that. And it'll also help with that clutch-in thing. A lot of racetrack guys, like in the drift and in autocross, we turn off the deceleration fuel cutoff. Makes more fire. People love it. But also, your fuel's there when you need it.
Yeah. I'd also be curious to know, you're running a Killshot instead of probably a Killshot Classic, which was made to work with that HEI setup you got there. Not that you can't run the Killshot with HEI.
Both of them run it, yeah.
But, it may want to consider switching over to our ignition setup if he's just running a Killshot.
Nah. Well, I've been running HEI for a long time. It runs fine.
On a regular Killshot?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the Killshots out there in the world have ran off of my HEI.
Right.
At some point.
Yeah. I'm not saying it won't. I guess I'm trying to say, do you think it would be better if the Killshot's meant to handle timing control?
No need.
No need?
Yeah, because this is still doing its own timing control.
Right.
So If you set up an HEI just right, you have no problems running it with a Killshot. It's really just getting like mine is 18 degrees at idle and 34 total with vacuum advance as well. Runs like a dream.
Cool. I know you have covered this in a couple of videos, but it seems to be a more popular question on all of our advertising and things like that. Just people ask this question a lot, so I just want to go ahead and address it on a Tech Tuesday as well.
Sure. Which one you got?
Is Andre Gutierrez 2188 says, I get that there has been an improvement, talking about the Killshot 2, but what is the difference? And I may be reading it from the other one. I've seen another one. But what are the differences in the Killshot 2, Killshot 1? Is it better? Is it worse? Like what am I comparing on the two? Those kinds of things. Why would I go with the Killshot 2 over the Killshot 1? Those kinds of things. And I'd want to go ahead and preface that in our advertising and stuff like that, it can seem as if we are saying that the Killshot 2 is better and we don't like the original Killshot anymore and those kinds of things. I just want to say that's not what's going on. We love both products. Mm-hmm. But why would somebody go with the Killshot 2 over just the regular Killshot and those kinds of things? I wanted to just throw that out here on a Tech Tuesday as well. Not that we're ditching our original Killshot design either.
No, different applications.
Yep,
it really comes down to it. I've seen a lot of comments saying like, "Oh, they finally fixed everything with the Killshot." There's nothing to fix. We just changed it. This the Killshot is of our design. The Killshot 2 is of your design.
Yeah,
like you guys had all these preferences and changes and this, that, and the other.
It's a great way to say
So we changed a lot of things. Like somebody wanted progressive linkage. Could you do progressive linkage on the first gen Killshot? Yeah, a lot of people do. The internal fuel pressure transducer, we thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. There's other folks that do that, and we're like, that's really neat. We got our own sensor, and we made our own little custom casting for a thing and added that in there. And a lot of folks were like, we want more air cleaners or different air cleaners and this, that, and the other. Cool. So we did that. It does. I can't really say the injectors are different because they're using the same injectors in the Killshot and the new generation Killshot versus the Killshot 2 as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole lot of the same but different. It's all dependent on your application, your look. What do you like? Because I use all the above.
Yep.
And it really depends on what build I'm doing. If I need something I know 100% is going to have a drop base air cleaner, because of hood clearance or what have you not, or there's something that I'm looking for that the Killshot 2 has versus the Killshot, then I'll go with what fits the build best.
Yeah.
And there is a price difference, which is also, really cool because it's, if I'm just trying to get a small block that's pretty good up and running, I don't have to worry about hood clearance or anything else. I'll just get a Killshot because the price point's super good.
Yep.
When it comes to the Killshot 2, it has extra features that I want. It has a newer handheld in it. Has the internal fuel pressure transducer, and also it's going to work more seamlessly for data and transfer rate when it comes to how fast that new handheld is, and with EGT and peripheral modules, this is just a huge expansion project,
right?
So nothing. It's not like, hey, we're killing a Killshot. It's literally just a different flavor of a good thing that's different. It does cost more to make because it has more capabilities in the future. Versus the Killshot and Killshot Classic, which is, our longest running thing yet, but we like it a bunch and a lot of people still buy it. So it really comes down to what your build's going to do and what your preference is.
Yep.
Is it cost? You know the answer. Is it capability? That's the other answer.
Yeah. Yep. I wanted just to throw that out there because I've seen that a lot. But we aren't doing away with the Killshot. We're not, saying that one is more superior and like you don't ever want to touch the Killshot 1.
No, I think it's still great.
Yeah, we love it.
I drove one to work today.
Yeah. I think you said it best. We made the Killshot 1 and you guys made the Killshot 2. So
that's true.
That's a good statement. Put that on a t-shirt, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's really good. Just wanted to touch on that before we move on. Let's see. Oh yeah, we have thousands of comments about fender covers.
Thank you for bringing the smoke about fender covers. No, it's a thing because we have this whole apparel committee that's now on their list and off of my list, and it's super great. Unfortunately, that's still part of my list, I guess, isn't it?
Yep.
Crud. No, it's okay though because we don't want to get. We can get the cheapy ones. We want to get the nice ones, the ones with the nice piping on it, with the magnets and it's got the microfiber back, so you don't get a little shave of metal in there and to sit there and grind into a fender while you're trying to wrench the EGR out the side your corroded up block like I like to do, and then work out plugging it up, for emissions.
No. I was going to say something I completely forgot.
He was going to say something inspirational.
Yes. So you guys I'm actually working on a project for merchandise and, apparel and those kinds of things. So whatever you guys are wanting, just throw out some ideas in the comments. We're looking at shirts. We're looking at those straw hats. Those fine straw hats.
Those finally come back around. It's been only a year and some change now, isn't it?
No. We're looking at all kinds of stuff. People have asked for hoodies. People have asked for water bottles and like all kinds of stuff. Fender covers. So if you guys have ideas for what would be what you'd love to see as far as Ace's lines of merch, leave a comment. Let me know. I want to know what the people want. So, Matt, you may see a post about that too. Just trying to gather some ideas. We've got some, but we'd like to hear from you as well.
Fender covers, tuning mats, hoodies, different hats, sunglasses.
It's the summer. I don't know how many people are getting there. I don't know how many people are going to want to buy hoodies right now. You can let me know if that's changing. But you will definitely do all those things. But let us know. For real. Yeah. I've got another one for you here, Tim. This seems to be a reoccurring question to a degree. Right here.
On which video is this off of?
This is off of the install for the Killshot 2. The longer one.
Move the little pointy thing. I can't see that dude.
Sorry.
What? Lucas Etchison something. 5455. Why did you set the Wizard up as stock cam if it has a fat cam? Solid question. I wanted to see what the fuel was going to do. I wanted to see if it had too much fuel or not enough fuel. And the thing is, if I started up and I realize, hey, I'm having to add some here to the fuel table offset, what I'll do is go into the settings and change it from stock to mild cam and then look at it and realize, do I need to go up or down a little bit more of the fuel?
Yep.
That's it. Nothing crazy. It does mess with some background parameters, but if you don't know, because I didn't know exactly what cam was in that thing, I wasn't going to guess at it. I'll just start with stock. It's tuning by means of diminishing returns. You go one direction until it's worse, and go back towards better, and keep going until it's worse, and find out where that middle point was, where you're like, this is solid.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing with that, and it ran. So I think it's on mild cam now. Yeah. But nevertheless, I mean, it's if you can get it to start on stock and you're real close.
Yep.
You can adjust from there, but if it's way far off, like I don't have nearly enough fuel, I'm having to add some in here or something weird or messing with all kinds of airflow stuff, then it's like, okay, this is a mild cam. Mm-hmm. Let me just change that setting, and then I'll be closer instantly.
Yep.
Instead of like overshooting what you think your cam is, undershoot a little bit and see what she do. Because if you overshoot and it has too much fuel, you're going to wipe out your O2 sensor like instantly. And the worst case is if you undershoot, it's not going to have any power. It's not going to have enough fuel. It's just not going to start good. And you're like, all right, I know where I'm at.
Yep.
Makes sense?
Yep. I think there's typically every 2 weeks we'll get a stock mild or race cam question or something related. So I thought it would be important to touch on that. So Tommy K63 was asking about the O2 sensor. He goes, what about the O2 sensor? Did you mount that since AFR is always 13.5?
I've got a bad habit of I will get a system up and running and adjust it by target fuel pulse width, and I won't even care about the O2 sensor until it's running stable, exhaust temperatures are looking good, and all that jazz. And yes, there is an O2 sensor in that car. He's got to go film that with Bradley today. I've already drilled a hole, but we're going to explain where and why we put a hole in there. But nevertheless, it does have a sensor. It's just that, you know, even on the vehicle I did an install in this weekend, like I didn't even plug the O2 sensor in. I got it up and running and stable and didn't worry about it, because I'd rather do that than plug the O2 sensor in straight away and smoke it. Because if you got too much fuel right out the hit and you're like, oh no, I've selected the wrong cam, or it's got the wrong fuel, or it's doing something crazy, you know, I don't rely on the self-learning on that. I just rely on good known pulse widths. And I'm like, yeah, this is running good.
Yeah.
It's not everybody does that. Not everybody, you know, I'm kind of in an advantage because I know what it should look like right out the gate. So when I start one up, I can make the adjustments very, very quickly, and it just starts making more sense. But you get some practice under your belt, you'll get to the point you're just like, I know what that picture should look like.
Yeah. I think that
I did that because I didn't have an extra O2 sensor with me, and I was like, I don't want to smoke it. And then we realized it was running really good, so they actually drove it back, and it was quite fantastic.
We did do that. We did drive it back.
Let's see, Aaron Barnes, 8938. Very interesting to set up. Will the E85 Killshot ever come back? To be determined. It sounds like a fun thing. It really does. It's just that we have to finish what we're doing right now before we even dive back into the E85 Killshot. But then, you know, it's just
like
got
the flex fuel thing.
The flex fuel one.
Yeah.
It's like we got access to a really great flex fuel sensor.
Yeah.
That's a whole strategy I have to build in. We're probably going to do it in the bigger, nastier version of the Killshot if we do it at all.
Yeah.
But it's because it'll probably have a flex fuel sensor input. And I hate using flex fuel sensors. I'd rather run E85 or not.
Yeah.
You know, some people blend the fuels, but that, you know, when you mix one with detergents with the other that doesn't have any, it creates a bit of varnish and plugs up your injectors if you leave it setting. That's the big thing about, I got E85 sitting in a car, and you can go and start it. It's fine. But if you blend that fuel and you let it set, it will gum up your injectors and makes them sticky.
With this or the original Killshot, will this or the original Killshot work for marine applications? I've got a jet boat I've been wanting to convert to EFI. It's been a while since we've talked about marine applications and stuff like that. I don't think anything's changed, but you'd be the guy to know.
You're looking at an open loop tune.
Yeah.
You need to figure out a way to either tune it, read your plugs like you do with a carburetor, which is a whole lot of good fun, and I personally like that because it's challenging, it's a hoot, and it usually messes with people's head whenever you're like, yeah, reading the plugs, adjusting accordingly. They think that's crazy. You can do that method, or if you got a method of putting a test pipe in there, doing the tune, forcing an open loop, then you can do that as well. Jet boat stuff, we got a lot of people that's done marine applications. I'm not a huge fan of it, but unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for you, I will be having to do more boat stuff. I want to have a better answer, even though I have a personal preference of I don't like fooling with boats. I own a boat. Doesn't mean I want to work on it, ever. I have an uncomfortably fast boat, as a matter of fact. And I mean uncomfortably fast. But it's terrifying. It's generally terrifying.
Weird flex, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's you'll know if you ever drove it.
Yeah.
It's unsettling.
Super fast.
Yeah.
No, I think, you know, our main thing is we've never been marine certified. My understanding is because of our the O2 sensors.
The J certification on that Coast Guard stuff's more for offshore related things, but a big thing is that we respect in the outline of that is the fire potential applications, because you do got fuel in those bores. If you don't have a flame arrestor, a blower fan in your actual compartment itself, you're gonna, no matter the system, ours, somebody else's carburetor, whatever, you got to have proper ventilation and the tuning, you know, because riding in a boat's just you're riding a water brake dyno. You throw the throttle at it and it's 100% the whole time. So it does take some special tuning. It can be done. Lots of people do it. A lot of people are extremely successful. And people coming from other companies coming into ACES using the Killshot on marine applications, your Mercruisers and all that whatnot, you know, they're already used to all that stuff. So we do have dealers floating around somewhere that does a lot of boat stuff. But, yeah, it can be done. I mean, is it Coast Guard certified? Nah.
Yeah.
Is it doable? Yeah. I mean, you know, if if you had an old boat out in the driveway and we decide to throw one on there and then get it up and going and do just a halfway tune and stick it out in the water and then adjust the fuel map the rest of the way, it'd take most of the afternoon. Probably run out of cold drinks before we got done.
No, I mean, it's true. I think I've also told people to head over to our Facebook group, Aces Owners, EFI Owners and Techs. They have, there's a lot of boat guys in there that have got a bunch of
I can tell.
different stuff. So, yeah, if you have any questions, if you are running a boat or a marine application, definitely check that out. A lot of people help out other boat guys out there.
I like jet boats.
No.
I had a really cool Sea-Doo back in the day. It was a twin, had rafts and everything. It was super dope.
I saw one where the guy had the big fan on the back. Like, you know, those, you know what I'm talking about? Just that giant.
They big fan boat.
Running a Killshot or maybe a Royal Flush or something on it.
Interesting.
So they posted a video in there. It was pretty cool.
The biggest thing about fan boat stuff is folks will modify the harness in sometimes really unhealthy ways. I've warrantied out a guy's system one time because it got super wet and just ruined a bunch of stuff, and I helped him out anyways because he had only had it like 2 days. It wasn't even his fault that was the thing. It just like wasn't, you know, for misuse or anything, but the harness was super modified. So I tested his harness and it was extremely good harness build. I liked it enough, and I'm picky about harnesses. So, yeah. But that's the thing is, like, you know, if you get a fan boat, it's be careful with how you modify your stuff. Don't do it in like the most janky ways.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a few things go into the fan.
Yeah,
makes a mess.
Yep. We can probably do one more, or we can wrap it up. It's up to you.
Want to do one more? Let's do one more. What we got?
All right. So this one is from Angelobe. Not Angelo, but Angelobe. I'm sure it's
Angelo B, baby.
It goes, are the improved fuel map and settings unique to this product and ECU? Are they going to be in updates for the Killshot computer soon?
Yep. No, if there's a new and improved, awesome, better, closer calibration for a Killshot, generally that carries over to the Killshot too, and weirdly enough, the Deuces Wild as well, and Royal Flush. A lot of them are going to share a lot of that same base calibrations, because if we get a bunch of people sending in just dynamite tunes, if I make a bunch of stuff on the dyno, which is a huge piece of my year, is getting an amazing amount of base calibrations for a lot of things. It's only going to make improvements. So generally that map does carry. So if it's for a throttle body, it's going to carry over to a lot of throttle bodies. And the same thing with jackpot stuff is going to carry over to a lot of jackpot stuff. That's how the long-term Aces fans, as dealers and stuff that's had a lot of projects, you know, used to be you had to fiddle with the fueling on it quite a bit, and now not so much. We like to keep you within 10% of what your should-be theoretical target is.
Yep.
Like, I got there, my Tahoe, for instance, I fired the thing up. I moved it 5%, and it runs. That's the only thing outside the Wizard I've done, and I'm close to 4,500 miles at this point on that Tahoe.
Yep.
So,
no.
I'm going to put it on E85 again next. It was on E85 for a long time. It's just hard to get around here.
Yeah.
I got to plan ahead. I got to fill up the tank and then get 20 more gallons. So,
it's true. Yeah. That's about it. That's all she wrote, folks.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's good.
A lot of good questions.
I love the good questions. I really enjoy the live, some of the live questions.
Yeah, I think it's fun to do the live settings, though it's a little bit stressful on the front end trying to get it set up. But outside of that, it's fun. And you guys get to interact with us like right off the cusp. So I think we have plenty more of those in store. Maybe it will eventually switch to an all live setting, but we're just going to kind of see how that goes, and we're going to see if we can get different time frames, because I know that, 12, 1, even 11 doesn't work for everybody. We're all working, so
we may stagger that. We thought about trying to talk to the upper echelon about actually coming in late one day and staying late just to do it after most people get home after work. And
Yeah.
that way more people get the chance to come in and dial in.
Yeah. For sure.
Big fan of that idea. I'm flexible. I work all
We'll
the
do
time.
it. If we have to stay late to do it for you guys, and that's no problem by us, by no means. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Tech Tuesday. If you liked it, please feel free to leave a like down below. If you have a comment about ACES fuel injection or EFI in general, feel free to leave one down below, and we'll be happy to get to it in the next episode of Tech Tuesday. If you know anybody that is switching to fuel injection or considering it, you should send them our way, and we'd love to talk to them about it as well. But, Tim, thank you so much for coming out here to the studio, shooting another episode of Tech Tuesday with me. And you guys, thanks again. We'll see all of you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye now.